Are we being hustled with the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight? Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is R2 Cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's video, we will be discussing what the heck is going on with Ryan Garcia and the Devin Haney fight. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button, and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video. So I know I haven't dropped a video about this. I just kind of wanted to let things go and see how things transpired before I made the video. I actually thought things would calm down and we could be like, okay, guys, cool, false alarm. He was just tripping, right? Ryan Garcia, I'm talking about. So Ryan Garcia has appeared to be really tripping a lot lately. Now, in the beginning, I was feeling like, man, either Ryan Garcia is having a manic episode or he's having a psychotic breakdown, because like back around the press conference, he just was really weird. His energy was different. His voice was even different. His speech pattern was different. Everything about Ryan Garcia was different, which was making me believe like, man, maybe this dude is really having a manic episode. You've heard before of Ryan Garcia pulling out of fights for mental health reasons. Now, a lot of people thought he was faking or he was just making excuses and he didn't want the fight. But the man was telling you he has mental health issues. So fast forward to the Devin Haney fight. Now, how could I put this so it could make sense? The thoughts kind of jumbled up in my mind, but I'm gonna try. Let me know and drop it below in the comments if what I'm saying makes sense and you understand what I'm saying. So before Ryan Garcia started tripping, right, people were feeling some type of way about the fight being announced and that it was going to be in New York. So that was one issue people was having. They were saying, oh, it's in New York. They fan base not in New York. Why would you have the fight all the way in New York? Both Ryan and Devin's fan base is mostly based in California. Then come the ticket drop. You had people complaining about the ticket prices. Oh, the price of the ticket's too high. Who's going to pay for this? So on and so forth, right? So before Ryan even started tripping, there was an issue with these things, and people were making the prediction that the fight's not going to do too well. Then Ryan started tripping. He started saying he want to fight in Vegas instead of fighting in New York. He started saying the tickets were too high. He started agreeing with the people that were saying these things. So the attention went from Oscar De La Hoya and the Zone, who's actually putting on the promotion for this fight, and Eddie Hearn himself, even before all of this started, said he basically don't have nothing to do with the fight. The attention shifted away from them and towards Ryan Garcia, and that's when Ryan Garcia started having this manic episode. Now, at the beginning of that episode, it was real bad. His voice was changing. He was doing all kind of crazy stuff, saying all kind of crazy things, expressing traumatic things about his childhood, right? And everybody's like, oh man, Ryan Garcia tripping, he not mentally there. Now, since then, Ryan has calmed down. He hasn't stopped talking about these things, but he's back more so to the corny Ryan Garcia that we're used to seeing, right? Now, on top of that, tickets too high, fight in New York, on Ryan Garcia tripping. And on top of all of that, we still don't know what the undercard is going to be. And another thing that stood out to me that was weird was that at the press conference, they had Arnold Barboza speaking at the press conference, letting everybody know that if something were to happen, he would be the step in if something were to happen and one of them couldn't make the fight, right? And I thought that was weird. I had never seen a step in, be at the press conference. But not only was he saying he was a step in, it was my understanding that he was supposed to be on the undercard. So who was he supposed to be fighting? Because that hadn't been mentioned either. Now, the reason why at the beginning of this video I said, are we being hustled with this fight, is because regardless of Ryan Garcia tripping, is he affecting the fight? Is he making people not want to see the fight? Possibly. It could go either way with that, right? People might want to see the fight because he's tripping and they gonna want to see, oh, what's up with Ryan Garcia? Like, how is he gonna do? Or people might just be like, man, I ain't watching this fight because he's tripping, right? He gonna get washed by Devin Haney because he's not mentally there. We don't know which way that's going. But like I said earlier, before Ryan Garcia started tripping, we were already saying the fight not gonna do well because of those other factors, right? So with that being said, to me, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me, and no, I'm not taking up for Ryan and I'm not defending Ryan. I agree. He is tripping, right? But is Oscar De La Hoya not dropping the ball on this fight? Let's say Ryan Garcia wasn't tripping or wasn't making people feel like he's not going to be mentally stable enough for the fight. Would the sentiment be the same that because of the factors of it being in New York, the tickets being too high, we still don't know who the undercard is? Would that have made you feel as though the fight is not going to do very well for those reasons? Just alone, take out Ryan Garcia tripping, right? So then I was hearing that the fight is only going to be pay-per-view in the US and everybody else was going to get it for free. Okay, cool. That's another issue that the fans and people were speculating and talking about. So now I'm hearing that who is it? Is it Mauricio Suleiman in the commission? He's saying that the commission needs to mentally evaluate Ryan Garcia to see if he's capable of fighting. And my question about that is, now obviously Ryan is capable of fighting physically. You see him in the gym, you see him training. He just posted a video not too long ago saying he was about to go to the gym to spar. I don't think Derek James would either continue to train him or recommend that he fights in the state that he's in. But now that I say that out loud, I may take that back because we all seen how Earl Spence was in the ring against Terrence Crawford. So scratch that. So I'm wondering, when does the commission mentally evaluate boxers to see if they can fight? That's my question. Please let me know and drop it below if you've ever heard of the commission mentally evaluating somebody to see if they are capable of fighting. Because I can think of plenty of fighters that was tripping before their fight that could have appeared to seem as though they shouldn't have been going in the ring based off the stuff they were saying. And Teofimo Lopez's name pops in my head as just real quick pops in my head right now as I'm saying that. He was saying and doing a few outlandish things before his fight. And I didn't hear anybody saying, oh, he's not mentally stable enough to fight. The commission needs to evaluate him to see if he's capable of fighting. Now, don't get me wrong. I do, at the very beginning of this, when this all first started, I was feeling like, man, Ryan Garcia really need to pull out this fight when his voice was all changed, his energy was different, his speech patterns. I was like, man, he really tripping. But since then, he seems to have came around. So I don't know if he had a bad trip on something or exactly what was going on with him. But since then, he's came around and he's just pretty much been saying a bunch of conspiracy things and stuff like that. But he seems physically capable of getting in the fight. Is he there mentally? I don't know. But that's not the argument. What I'm asking is, when does the commission mentally evaluate fighters to see if they're capable of fighting? Is that a thing? Because if it's a thing, I never heard of it. So let me know and drop it below. I just never heard of it. And on top of saying all that, Ryan Garcia has been telling y'all that he has mental issues. And he's pulled out of fights before because of mental issues. And he was crucified. He was crucified about it. He was called a duck. He was saying he just didn't really want to fight. He was just making excuses, and he was doing all of these things. So if Ryan Garcia has pulled out of fights before because he felt though he wasn't mentally there, why wouldn't he do it this time? And I'm not defending Ryan. I'm not agreeing with nothing. I'm not disagreeing with nothing. I'm just posing some questions because this is very, very confusing. What's going on with this fight? And I don't think I've ever experienced this before. Now I know a lot of people, fight fans, they've been watching fights since the 60s and all this. Listen, I wasn't born then. But I'm saying I've never seen this before, and I've also never heard of a commission checking a fighter's mental stability, doing a mental evaluation to see if they're able to fight. If that's something they do, cool, just let me know. Now the question is of, are we getting hustled with this fight? I asked that question for a few reasons. One is, why were the ticket sales so high in the beginning? One, that's the first question. Two, why was Arnold Barboza at the press conference saying that he was going to step in if anybody wasn't able to make the fight? Three, I'm not sure if it's a thing, but I've never heard of the commission mentally evaluating a boxer to see if they can fight. Four, why don't we know who's on the undercard, right? Is it because you don't want to put the undercard out there because it's not going to be a great undercard and you feel like people won't buy tickets and you just want to let everybody know what the undercard is at the last minute after everybody's already purchased their tickets? Like what is really going on? Why didn't Eddie Hearn want anything to do with this fight? Soon as they asked him some, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't on me. Eddie Hearn just kind of washed his hands of it like, hey, it is what it is, right? This ain't me. Even though the Zone is on the promotion. When you look it up, it's Golden Boy and the Zone. But for some reason, Eddie Hearn don't want or got nothing to do with it. So it's all very, very strange to me. So I wanted to make this video real quick just to give my 2 cents or just to give my thoughts on what's going on and how strange this is. Because yes, Ryan Garcia is tripping. The things that he is talking about are things that people been talking about. They've been talking about him for a while. It's not things nobody have heard. I think the real issue is the timing and the delivery of Ryan Garcia doing this. But if you let him tell it, he's like, oh, I got a fight coming up. I got all the eyes on me. I got all the attention on me. I want to bring awareness to it. But it's kind of like, Ryan, it's not the time for that. Like, you need to chill. Like, stay off social media. And there's a lot of people saying, oh, he's trying to get out the fight. He's scared of Devin Haney. He this and he that. Ryan Garcia doesn't need to do this to get out of the fight. He's gotten out of fights before. So it's not like his reputation would just is on the line or it's just going to be completely trashed or ruined if he gets out of this fight, because he's done it before. I had mental issues and was like, hey, you know what? I'm not all together. I can't fight. And he had no problem stepping away from the fight. So why wouldn't he do it this time? On top of that, he's the one that asked to fight Devin Haney. He's the one that asked to make the fight with Devin Haney. Devin Haney didn't approach him with this fight. He approached Devin Haney. So all of this together is just, it's extremely weird. And I'm just wondering, are people being hustled with this fight? Are they trying to sell as many tickets as they can using the Ryan and Devin Haney name, and then at the last minute they're gonna bait and switch you and announce a subpar undercard, leaving people feeling some type of way, and just scapegoat Ryan like, well, y'all knew Ryan, y'all seen he was tripping, he wasn't mentally capable, he couldn't make the fight. Did Oscar De La Hoya know that something was up with Ryan before he even made this fight? Was he privy to that? Was he aware of that? But I seen an interview with Oscar De La Hoya cheesing and smiling, saying Ryan was cool, Ryan was fine. I talked to Ryan today. And even Ryan talking to Oscar made me feel like something is wrong. I know that sounds weird, but before this, remember, Ryan and Oscar wasn't talking. Oscar couldn't talk to Ryan unless he was talking to him through his lawyer. But now all of a sudden they cool. So I don't know, man. I just something isn't right. Maybe when it's all over with, it'll all come together and it'll all make sense. But we still don't know who's on the undercard. We still don't know who's on the undercard. Even though Arnold Barbosa is supposed to be on the undercard, we still don't even know who his opponent is. Or if we do know who his opponent is, I haven't heard about who his opponent is. So let me know what you think about the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight. Are they hustling the fans? By dropping your 2 cents below in the comment sections. Be sure to support the channel by punching that like and subscribe button. Follow me on IG and 2cents20. Follow me on IG at 2cents boxing. Follow me on Twitter or X at 2cents20. I'm Jay, and stay tuned for my 2 cents in the next video.